Hello, this is the day I've been waiting for a while. Finally reviewing a Russian River sour beer. This is Supplication. I think it's their original sour beer. Started making a long time ago. They kind of did the first extensive, really fancy Belgian sour beer influenced barrel aging program at Russian River. And they also have one of the more complicated methods of barrel aging that I've read about in America. So for this one, it's basically like an oud Bruin, maybe not quite a Flanders red. It's 7% alcohol brown ale. They use like Carafa and Crystal 40 and some other dark malt in it, and they ferment it in stainless steel with a Belgian Abbey yeast. Then they throw it in barrels with Brettanomyces, and for this one, they use dried cherries, which a lot of places don't use dried fruit, but they use a lot of dried fruit, I guess, at Russian River. So yeah, it goes into Pinot Noir barrels with dried cherries and specific Brett strains, and then like a couple months later, they throw in their lactic acid bacteria culture, mixed culture, has some wild yeast in there. But I guess the brewer owner, Vinny Salurzo, isn't a huge fan of lactobacillus and the kind of bacteria or the kind of acid that creates. He prefers pediococcus and the lactic acid that comes from that bacteria, which is a little bit harder to deal with, but he thinks it has a deeper flavor. I probably agree with him, but I'm not as much of an expert. But I do know that kettle souring lactic acid type bacteria doesn't really do it for me a lot of the time. It is just a zippy, in your face, lemony thing, and there's not much to it. And he also doesn't like acetic acid, which is the vinegar quality you can get from barrel aging sour beers. So I'm guessing this won't be too sour. I've only experienced 2 other Russian River sour beers before, and they weren't actually super sour. But I've never had Supplication. This one was bottled September 27th, 2017, so it's about a year and a half old, and I've heard that with a lot of these, they're that sour when they bottle them, but they can continue to evolve. And I think I have said enough. Very nice color. Not like a super blood red cherry creek looking thing. Smells a little funky from here. Pretty nice head retention for a barrel aged sour beer. A beautiful stream of bubbles coming from the middle of the glass. I don't know if you can see that, but this looks like a pretty masterfully made beer. They got the carbonation under control, and actually some head. Let's get a whiff. Ooh, that is nice and funky. A little bit of barnyard, but lots of deep cherry, kind of black cherry, but not medicinal, kind of grapey. I guess, yeah, Pinot Noir barrels. Still kind of jammy, even though they use dried cherries. It's got a lot of grape, strawberry, blackcurrant jam going on in there. And a good amount of funk, but it's not like a really, really weird funk. It's more just like a old world rustic wine funk. Lots of barnyard, almost some like tropical Brett stuff happening. Lots of hay and wood notes. Slightly mushroomy, but I don't think it's not really, really challenging in the funkiness, but if you don't like any Brett funk at all, you're probably not gonna enjoy that aroma so much, but try it, maybe you like it. But that smells really good, and it's not mouth-watering. It doesn't smell really vinegary or anything. Definitely acidic though. But I wasn't necessarily in the mood for a sour brown ale. Once I got a nose on this, I was like, yep, this is gonna be really good. Nice body on it. Very low. And the acid. And there's Not much vinegar quality. I'm sure there's a little bit of acetic acid, but it might take a while for me to notice it. But that's really easy to drink, really complex. Gets really cool and oaky with lots of vanilla notes in the finish. It's almost like a vanilla cherry pie. And it lingers, like the funk comes back at you. Lots of barnyard, not quite weird washed rind funky cheese, but getting close to that category, but nothing really, really weird. Like if you forgot about some cheese in the back of your cheese drawer and it starts turning orange, it's not quite, it's not getting towards that weird ammonia note. Now I'm gonna go back for another smell. It's really big on the cherries, but it's really, really complex. It's not like a lot of these American sour beers that are just like, oh, if it's a fruit sour beer, make it really, really sour, really big on the lactic acid, really big on the fruit, and nothing else. This has great, great yeast complexity, and I'm assuming the pediococcus is what's also adding this lactic acid that is deeper. It has a more flavor. It's not just a lemony, zippy warhead type thing. I'm not getting any candy warhead garbage in this beer. Yeah, a lot of different fruits going on. It's a little bit nutty too, amaretto, almondy. Yeah, there's brown sugar, but it's not a sugary flavor. It's not syrupy.